In this, the second of 4 videos on denoising, we're going to take a look at the RX5 advanced only features in the spectral denoiser module. There are 2. Firstly, this adaptive mode, where you'll notice that the learn button is replaced by a learning time control, because in adaptive mode, there's no need to give the spectral denoiser module a bit of clean noise. It will learn the noise by looking ahead by whatever the learning time is set to. So we can just go into preview and you'll see we've got this red section.
This is a typical example of a poorly recorded item using a dynamic microphone on a domestic.
So it's looking ahead and making an analysis and then cleaning up the audio as it goes. And this is really useful if you've got a noise profile which is changing over time. In this particular example, it's fairly static, but there may be other examples like a plane passing or a car passing, or maybe something that's got a changing tone, a changing note to it. So in those sorts of examples, a static noise profile from the normal traditional learn process won't actually do the job. It needs to be changing the noise profile as it goes. So that's the first of the 2 RX5 advanced only features in the spectral denoise module. The second is this advanced settings. If you've got the standard version of RX5, you won't have this advanced settings option. But in RX5 Advanced, you've got all these additional options. And you notice as I change the quality settings, different elements of this are changing. But of course, in the advanced mode, I can go in and make additional changes beyond what has been designed for these 4 different quality settings. So let's start with the FFT size. Now, in essence, what this is all about is dividing the audio up into small chunks. And the smaller the chunks, the more detailed the processing, and the more likely it's going to be able to get in between the gaps. But you'll also notice that the FFT size control is only available for quality settings A and B. Once we get into C and D, you'll notice that the multi-resolution option has taken over. And what's happening with the multi-resolution option is actually RX is analyzing the audio and adjusting the FFT size to suit that particular audio. We've then got different types of algorithms. We've got simple, advanced, extreme, and advanced and extreme. And again, if we just look at the different quality settings, A uses simple, B uses extreme, as does C and D. But of course, none of these settings actually use the advanced and extreme algorithm. Now, the simple algorithm is in essence like a lot of little gates, all working individually on their little bit of audio. So here we have the release control, which becomes active when we're in simple mode. As soon as we go away from simple mode, the release control is grayed out. So here we can actually adjust the release time of all those little gates so that, again, we can get the best results possible. Now, the advanced and extreme option, as you've seen, is not available in any of the quality presets, but it is that sort of absolute top-end best of the range setting, which basically means that you're going to get better results with fewer musical artifacts. So if you've got a really tricky piece of audio and you're still getting artifacts, if you're on RX5 Advanced, click on the advanced settings and try the advanced and extreme algorithm. We've then got this smoothing control, which can help to smooth out some of the side effects and artifacts that you can get when you start using really heavy amounts of denoising. So again, if you're struggling, into the advanced settings and try adjusting the smoothing to see if you can reduce the side effects of some of the artifacts. Next, under this noise floor column, we've got synthesis. Because sometimes when you get lots of denoising, the processed audio can end up being a little dull. And so what this will do is it will synthesize new harmonics to help brighten up the processed audio. Then the enhancement control, what this does is it takes some of the audio that might have been buried in the noise floor and enhances it, so brings up some of the harmonics of the audio that would have been buried in the noise, it brings those out. And again, the upshot of that is it will help to make the processed audio that little bit brighter. Next, we've got masking. And in essence, what this is doing is using noise to help mask some of the artifacts and side effects of denoising. And so over on the right-hand side, that's the maximum amount of masking, all the way down to the bottom, no masking at all. So again, it's worth coming into this section if you've got a really tricky piece of audio. And then finally, some of the noise that's used for masking, we can change the shape. And you can see as I adjust the whitening that the residual noise shape is changing. It's also having an impact on the noise profile of the audio. So again, that can be something worth checking out. You may find that this will help sort of fill in some of the gaps that you might be getting from over-processing. And then we have a knee control, just as we have knee controls on compressors or any other type of dynamics processing. We can adjust the point at which the dynamics changes. So rather than it being a sudden change in ratio, we can use a soft knee and actually, again, adjust the way that the dynamics work. So those are the advanced settings which are available only in RX5 Advanced, along with the adaptive mode for the spectral denoiser. I'll see you again in another video.